Welcome back to VALORANT Champions and our final match of today. It is yesterday's Group D winners, Na'Vi versus DRX. I'm your host, Vincere, and I've got Brian and Saisho here with me. Guys, the winner of this match will go directly to playoffs. This is absolutely huge.
Yeah, this group is also just impossible to predict, I think. These are the two teams that look like they were in really poor form coming into the tournament, and yet the rejuvenation, especially of DRX, I think, has just been a joy to watch.
Yeah, that's esports, man. That's tournaments.
Yeah.
You just don't know what form teams are going to be in. Like, give them a month and a half. You don't know what to expect, really, from it. But, yeah, I mean, massive tennis events. I mean, it's a specifically a big deal as well, Yinsu. You were saying the other day when we were, like, planning for this test segment about the amount of days you get as preparation for this. If you win this, like, this is going to be our first winner going into the playoff section for champs. They get quite a large break as well to just prep even more as well, check out the competition even further. It's a big deal if you win this match.
I mean, for both of these teams, getting 8 days to Na'Vi or DRX to prep is going to be absolutely huge. And speaking of Na'Vi, let's send it to Golden Boy, who's standing by with their coach, DRX.
Congratulations on a massive win yesterday. But the question on everyone's mind is, did you tell your mom that you beat your brother? And what did she say if you did tell her?
She was sleeping. It's a big time difference. So I haven't really spoke with her, but she told me before this event, I'm a bigger brother. I'm 7 minutes older than Emil. So I will always be the favorite, win or lose.
You know what? I always knew that. My brother, he's 7 years older than me. He's always been the favorite. Oh, man, we relate. Well, actually, no, you're the enemy. Get out of there.
I can't relate. I'm the youngest, so I can't relate.
I mean, if we had Emil here, he'd be calling cap on that.
Yeah,
there's no shot.
You can see the little grin on his face as well when he was saying that. I mean, Doombro's just, I love the banter.
You take it though, wouldn't you? I mean, if you're beating your brother, your twin brother, at a stage like this, I mean, the job is not done though. They have to beat DRX today. And speaking of DRX, Golden Boy, he's doing a lot of steps today. He's just run over to the other side to quickly grab a quick word with Mako.
Mako, come over here, brother. How you doing? Hey, good to see you. Also, your hair is beautiful. After yesterday's performance, you guys looked absolutely incredible. Do you feel like there's been a change for the better for DRX from Tokyo to Champions, and what do you think that is?
일단 도쿄 때보다 더 나아진 거는 저희가 뭐 위닝 콜 그냥 5명 전부 다 이제 적극적으로 얘기하는 게 제일 커가지고 아마 그것 때문에 지금 이렇게 스노우볼이 계속 구르는 것 같아요.
I guess the biggest change that we made for the better would be the fact that now everyone's chipping in to make those calls during the mid-round. So yeah, I think that explains why we're doing so much better than Tokyo.
That's awesome to hear, Mako. Always appreciate hearing from you. And Jen, thank you so much for conveniently being here. We'll catch you later, buddy. Back to you guys.
I mean, he's not wrong. The calls, they have been better.
Yeah, they definitely have. And it was something that Stax was really struggling with, was like the mid-round and the overall idea. I think Termi in the press conference also said, this is going to be our starting 5 up until the very end of the tournament. So the DRX fans know this is locked in. They're playing with zest.
Yeah, no more trolling, please, Termi. I'm begging you, man. I'm begging you.
I mean, speaking of trolling, I have a great answer from Stax of yesterday's interview he did right after they won. You guys, you want to take a look at this. This is absolutely hilarious.
Last time, Angel said that you guys got a little bit lucky taking the win against them. Are you feeling lucky about your upcoming match?
맨날 운이 좋아서 이겼다고 얘기하는데 이미 전적 자체가 저희가 압도적이기 때문에 그냥 그게 걔네들 실력인 것 같고요. 그래도 저희가 라비는 무시 안 하고 저희가 내일인가? 아무튼 만나서 부셔버리도록 해보겠습니다.
Well, they always talk about being lucky and them being unlucky, but it's just the track record tells you all, you know, about who's the better team. And we won't, of course, we won't let our guard down, but, you know, when we meet them tomorrow, I'll make sure that we crush them once again.
I mean, this is the thing. They always seem to play against each other. Also, twice at tournaments as well, Copenhagen Champions. And the context, the context, of course, is Angel just said that they were unlucky to lose against DRX. But you guys heard it from Stax there. Do you agree, though, Bren? You know, the track record DRX might just be the better team.
I mean, I would love to see it as well, because in my head as well, I wasn't even thinking of these two teams as a rivalry, really, when it was being brought up between them. But you know, I think DRX are going to be looking for that win today, obviously, against them, especially after the trash talk and whatnot as well. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think that at the moment DRX look like the more improved side. I think the addition of Zest and actually allowing him to scrim with the team has made an enormous difference to how DRX looked. I mean, Na'Vi looked like they were all right. DRX looked like they'd actually turned things around and looked good, and Zest was one of the biggest reasons why.
I think we should talk about that, because we always speak about, is it going to be Foxy9, is it going to be Zest? But Brent, after the way that Zest played, in particular for me, the Viper was immaculate.
Yes.
I think we're starting to see why they're choosing Zest for this tournament.
I mean, it's so damn good. The guy's picking up Viper as well. I think it was like the 3rd time he's played it in the history. But also, you can just tell, like you said, Josh, that they've actually been practicing with him. They've actually been playing scrim time. This is a moment here in the round where I love this. He waited just for the right timing as well. Didn't open a door, but he waited for the defuse to come through before then opening the door, waiting for the util from Stacks as well. It's all combined together. It was a real clear indicator to me that the communication is actually really tight right now with DRX. I think that the comms and the way they're calling, the way they're thinking about how they want to play each round are really just built off that. And what Mako was saying at the beginning is like, we're all contributing to the mid-rounding as well in that beginning interview, the Urala interview. I'm seeing that manifest in the games when I'm watching them play. They look really good right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Angel was not inting, as you would say.
That's the biggest bright spot you can find for Na'Vi, is it, Yinsu?
Am I wrong?
I mean, no, you're not wrong. Angel looked like he was playing a great game, and that can always be an X factor for Na'Vi. My question is just, is it going to be able to hold up? Because when I'm thinking about the actual head-to-head of the Smokes players that they've got in this game, Mako has usually been the better Smokes player. I mean, you put Mako up against anybody, he's usually the better Smokes player. But I think they're going to have their hands full dealing with him today. He looked like he was in rare form.
Dude, he was breaking ankles yesterday, man. I mean, the way he was just moving around the map as well using the TPs, he was in rare form. But the whole team was as well across the board. It wasn't just a Mako show.
No,
like sometimes we've been used to, where it's just this one player against the world. I got smoke wafted in my face.
Mako's here, that's why.
Exactly, man. It's red hot right now. He's red hot. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them play, I think.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to see which maps we're going to be heading to as well. Our coaches, they're standing by, so let's take a listen in.
A or B?
Team B.
Team B. So Navi, you'll be Team A, and we'll start with your first ban.
We ban Haven.
They ban Haven, your ban.
Haven.
They ban Pearl. Navi, map number 1.
We pick Bind.
Bind, side on Bind.
Attack.
Attack. Map number 2.
Pick Split.
Split, side on Split.
Defense.
Defense. Okay, next set of bans, starting with Navi. You have Ascent, Fracture, and Lotus.
Ban Ascent.
Ban Ascent. Your ban, you have Fracture and Lotus.
Ban Fracture.
Ban Fracture. Map number 3 will be Lotus, side on Lotus.
Defense.
Okay, we'll run through this again really quick. First set of bans, we have Navi with Haven, DRX with Pearl. Map number 1 is Bind with DRX on attack. Map number 2 is Split with Navi on defense. Next set of bans are Ascent and Fracture. Makes decider map 3 Lotus with Navi on defense. Sound good? Go
Thank you.
Go.
Good luck.
DRX.
These are two of the most experienced teams in this entire tournament, and winning today will guarantee them a spot at playoff. And of course, like we said, extra 8 days of prep, which is going to be absolutely insane. I know the expectation for both teams were super high coming into this, but we can't really be that surprised that one of Na'Vi or DRX will be getting to playoffs, perhaps both of them.
I mean, I think that is potentially a bit of a surprise when you're in a group with Liquid and Loud, right? But at the same time, all of the teams in this group have that pedigree of being able to make it very deep in tournaments. And I think it's more about who brings it at this tournament of champs and who's made the best use of their time off, if indeed you've had any time off, as DRX have.
I mean, right now as well, I would definitely say, I think, you can tell DRX have just been benefiting heavily from the scrim time that they've had, that month and a half off. Whereas Na'Vi, really, when I was watching them last, I mean, they've only really just settled into their comps at the tail end of LCQ.
Definitely.
They haven't had as much time to prep. Their maps have not been as fleshed out.
Speaking of the comps, we're heading into Neon Rays potentially.
That's Na'Vi for you. That is typical Na'Vi. But let's talk about the map vetoes, because I wasn't expecting them to lean so heavily into a map like Bind coming into this tournament.
Neither was I.
But they're not going to play Fracture or Ascent.
Yeah. So neither team wants to play other maps that the opponent is strong on, so they're trying to go towards like the weird middle of the map pool. I think it looks like a horrible map pool for Na'Vi. They've got to get a win on Bind, where I think they look a little shaky. DRX looked incredibly good on Split. I think Zest's Viper there is like setting the ideas for what everyone else should be doing on Viper playing on that map. And then the decided map is Lotus, where Na'Vi have just trolled relentlessly.
I mean, that's almost every comp, but let's take a look as we head into the Prime Gaming Agent Select, what we're going to get on Bind, because Brand Bind, I know they've been cracking a little bit more with Zest, and they do seem like a refreshed DRX. The last few times we saw them play Bind was not good.
Yeah, it hasn't been in the past. I mean, I'm curious though as well, because Na'Vi have chosen to pick this weird comp, and it didn't look as fleshed out. And for DRX, I feel like, again, this time off hopefully has been quite good for them in terms of what they've been able to put out. And yeah, we're seeing it, Yoru being played. Okay.
Oh, and they changed their comp overnight?
This is very interesting. A lot of Yoru's been getting experimented on Bind still. I mean, we've seen glimpses of it in the past on top of it, but that is going to be the main focus.
They just ditched the Neon and was like, no.
Yeah, well, I think that's sensible, though. They're going back to a Sage comp. You know, CNED's played Sage on this map forever, and I think going towards a more sensible option like that makes sense against DRX. I mean, at this point, though, the Raze Yoru is the story of this. DRX have never been able to come up with an answer on Bind that has looked good at the tier 1 level, and I think it's going to be a challenge to make the Raze Yoru look good.
Oh, wow.
That's challenging. I wish Sean was here.
Yeah, Sean would be able to give us all the info on Yoru, really. I mean, that guy grinds it.
I mean, Zest playing the Viper gives me hope.
He's going to be playing Viper on all 3 maps. Pay attention to how Zest uses his Viper orbs. They are unbelievably good.
Yeah, and anything else to add?
I mean, we kind of glossed over the Na'Vi stuff, but...
Well, what I will say is there's no other team in the world that knows how to deal with a Yoru more than Angel and Na'Vi. No one else. Let's be honest, let's be honest.
He's got his reps in, hasn't he? Playing it. He really does.
I'll say this too, Na'Vi have really struggled with pistol rounds. They need a good start in the pistols. They can't be affording to only win like 1 out of 4 in a series.
I also think the saving grace is they get to start on defense as well, and their defense has been a lot stronger for Na'Vi just on Bind in general, but I cannot wait to see what we're going to get in this game. Let's send it over to your casters who are making their debut here at Champions 2023. Hello, Doug and Hypo!
Yinzi, thank you so much, Mike. A pleasure to share the mic with you on a stage like this with comps like this matchup. I mean, you can't ask for much more.
No, and this should be, I mean, a little bit of a question mark starting on Bind, to be honest with you. I think Yinsu's made a fantastic point. To be prepped against a Yoru, you've got to be hoping that Angel and the rest of Na'Vi are actually going to have a plan on the fly to deal with this. But it's a big curveball from DRX. It's been a long time since we've really seen them stray away from some of their stable vanilla compositions.
I mean, and they're going as far away from vanilla and as far away as stable as you could possibly fathom in a situation like this, but we'll see how it plays out. You got Angel with a little gap here. And there are a couple players just on the other side. You see Stax is ready with the flash. The gate crash, he's already flashed up. He's stunned up, he's dead. A great opener for RB, but the counter from Xiao is good. 3v2 in favor of DRX as you see the members of Na'Vi scattering back towards B.
Sugetsu a million miles away from this one, so plant will be conceded. Actually, even seen her taking the long route round. He'll be bodyguarded right now by Marco, who's actually probably going to get a sound cue here. CNED's found it.
Hey, he was weak too. Leaving things into 2v2. The 4 members that remain on the server are all healthy. Frenzy in the hands of both for DRX as the clock ticks away. CNED being cautious with how we want to approach this. Sugetsu doing a bit of the same. First molly clearing, nothing there. CNED jumping out, jumping straight into his death. DRX get the pistol.
Again, it's only the fact that this is so committed from DRX, a ton of utility towards, and actually Xiao's done fantastically well to find 2 in that situation. but overwhelmed by the numbers of DRX. As if even if they've got a couple of little pieces prepped and planned here around the Yoru, being the focal point here. Just a pinch perfectly timed from Buzz, dropping out a hookah. Again, these early rounds, Doug, whether or not DRX going to show too many of maybe some of these TP setups or just a little pop flash play here and there. Well, at Na'Vi, you're going to be taking notes. They'll be on red alert for the rest of the buy rounds, potentially.
They've done well to get Xiao a bit closer to the Seekers. You see him just grab another orb. That's 4 so far just in the second round. It's interesting, too. Stacks just with a frenzy here.
You see it yesterday. He was the one to ride things through on a pistol. Rounds like this. Angel actually tagged up down to 66 already, forced deeper and deeper into the site, and DRX looking to overwhelm once again, Doug.
The thing is, Na'Vi have so many members already here, and well, given how things may look, they may drop like flies, but they're traded back. DRX finally stabilizing, and it's just CNED.
Spike planted.
Once again, it seems like he's going to be taking the more patient route as he waits just on the other side. The first shot is good. Stacks is weak. They both have bulldogs, though. And time is of the essence. CNED's going to have to get a move on. He's landed that shot, too.
This is a disaster already.
Yeah.
Just Zest left with a bulldog. The heal will come off, so CNED pretty healthy to take this engagement.
He's got to be fast about it, though. That spike has been taken away for a long time. Zest is in a really good position here. CNED on the bait. He spots a shoulder. Zest patient with it. So cautious with it, and he's playing a dangerous game here. He's already gotten it to half. Zest on the swing, Zest on the shot, and DRX with the round.
Very costly, though. Na'Vi taking everything except the final bulldog away. Should be fairly helpful to get, I guess, a couple of rifles in here, maybe even RB at 3850, but Na'Vi definitely feeling good about the outcome of that round overall. Actually seen it getting one away from the res. You talked about Xiao getting closer and closer to the Seekers already. Some ultimates on the cusp here for round 3, the first buy round for Na'Vi. Looks like DRX might even just ride this out, a Judge and a couple of Sheriffs across the board.
It is in the hands of Buzz, 5-1 already, 2 points away from the showstopper. He's got 2 satchels as well. So you imagine they're going to want to try to go fast. Some presence gathered off of that Xiao flash.
I think fairly cognizant of what's going on here. Yeah, Angel will find the spam through the wall. Buzz will fall off the rip.
There goes that Judge. It's picked up by Zest. The Stacks falls too. No showers control. You've got RB who's gotten a little bit further back, and he's going to get a kill off of it. Upgraded weapon too.
Last player standing.
But it very quickly crumbles yet again. Mako in a 1vx. It's now a 1v3. We've had a couple of situations like this, Mike, already, where DRX are like, well, hang on, what's going to happen here? This is closer than it should be, but ultimately stabilizes.
Well, I was talking about a little bit of an adjustment from DRX yesterday where they're happy to brawl, you know, happy to actually play into these very chaotic rounds. And I think with the Yoru, if they can lean back on maybe a 50-50 of, you know, the solid executes that DRX are able to cook up, especially with comps like this, they look damn good yesterday at those sorts of rounds, exactly.
They looked spectacular. I mean, everything was going their way, too.
Concern being, Na'Vi, historically, I'll add that asterisk to it, are very good at slowing things down and controlling teams like that.
Sure, sure.
Certainly not been the strengths that we've seen throughout the regular season.
See Na'Vi with a different approach this round. The first couple of rounds, they were so focused on prioritizing the orb B. This time they invest utility, a couple of smokes to get the Showers orb into the hands of Angel, now 1 point away from having his orbital strike online.
A very preemptive rotation here as well.
Yeah, really early.
And DRX spread in a not committed default just yet. See where the spike is. Nice flash actually from RB. Well, Sugetsu off that angle. That will be the showstopper in hand for Buzz, so expecting DRX to maybe drift away from this. Pivot back towards A, where it's only Zipan holding things down for the time being.
Wonderful.
Actually, the Sky confirming presence here could be a little bit of a red herring for Na'Vi. If DRX do continue here, you can see the spike retrieved.
Yeah. You wonder how much longer Zest is going to wait. You've got some rotations headed that way with Stacks. That's a second flash too. I think they're going to want to commit B here, and it's going to be right into the teeth of this Na'Vi defense.
Say well-timed flash actually on the other side of the map from Stacks, which is actually drawn Xiao in rotation. Angel on a swing out will catch Stacks on the retreat though.
See that gate crash come through? I'm wondering if Buzz is going to pull the trigger on it. No, they're going to flip. They're going to flip off of all the space that Zest has taken.
18 seconds though, Doug.
They're burning the clock down on this one all the way. That nade from Ziphead's going to be good. 10 seconds left, and Mako's already down. The spike can't make its way out. They've got to go fast on this as Ziphead continues to hold the line.
Probably as well. I was going to say, Angel in the back lines will be able to get the orbital strike off, but it actually misses the plant. RB's found a response.
Huge kill on Angel. RB swinging around 56 HP. He's by himself. He will fall.
DRX desperate to just force the rotation in RB. I feel as if they've done that with the flash stacks. Sends one out towards Lamps. Obviously, Zipan not necessarily in a position to confirm presence behind the Viper wall, but missing the window of opportunity there, Doug. There was so much that DRX was trying to achieve here, and then look at the clock here, 15 seconds, they're not even out of showers.
Yeah, they just burned it so long.
You see Zipan's even laughing on the player cam there. He's like, what are they? That's Spike. They're not even on site yet.
See where we go from here. DRX, you see the buy on your screen. It's a little bit hobbled together. Light armor on 4, Stinger in the hands of RB. Does have his ult too.
As if this will be the first example of DRX's usage of the ultimate from RB. Says the TP out to short. Try and find some information. Instantly denied by the Sage wall.
Buzz is going.
It's an indication.
Buzz is going, and they invested the ult. RB's already down. Buzz finally, though, finding value. Backside ultimately traded back as CNED will not relent on Shower's control. I don't know how the spike is going to get out of here, Mike. I don't think it will.
No. Zest will be revealed by the Seekers. An opportunity to take the TP, but a 1v3 now. And the rest comes through. Angel back on his feet just to make matters worse.
How on earth does Zest pull this off? He's got the Trailblazer that's spotted where he is.
He's stunned as well.
Yeah, this does not look good. He may have slipped the net, though, to get a kill, but can't even net that. Na'Vi have done a really good job of stabilizing through all of the looks that DRX are throwing their way.
And I like the intent here. Obviously, RB's ultimate comes through, denied by the Sage wall, but it confirms that there's somebody just inside Showers.
Sure.
Showstopper doesn't connect. I think CNED drops down to about 40 HP. But even then, the reinforcement from, Sugetsu initially here, but you can see on the X-ray there. Na'Vi were well on their way to defending A side before the spike even gets down.
DRX off of that, calling a timeout. As Na'Vi have put together 3 rounds in a row. I mean, really a perfect run after the first 2 rounds. You see the money for them, it's very good too.
Chance to string something together here, some ultimates to play with. Zest one away from the pit. Stacks and Marco have theirs ready to go. Certainly, initially, feels like Na'Vi able to control the tempo when DRX do want to explode towards site. And I'm seeing something here that might even slow things down a little further for DRX. CNED, operator in hand now. And the showstopper at Zipan's disposal. Not expecting miracles here from DRX unless we do see the investment come through. Seeing Buzz actually considering a Vandal, but changes his mind last minute towards a Guardian. Not necessarily feeling too threatened just yet for Na'Vi on the defense. A couple of little pieces cooked up around the Yoru, but certainly hasn't found value just yet.
Oh, they're buying a little bit more into this too. RB's gone with the Singer. Buzz, you mentioned with the Guardian. We'll see what they do with this. Meanwhile, for Na'Vi, as we were discussing previously, they've got money for days. It seems pretty standard, too, on how they want to approach this. That deep flash, and Angel's getting real frisky here. He's gone real far up. He's got the Trailblazer to follow, but is he expecting Buzz here? I don't know that he is.
On the other side. I'll be actually flashing out here, but punished. Buzz will find a response, but Shout the second layup.
Such an ambitious approach. Such an ambitious attempt. And Zipan's gotten the timing on this. Very patient. He plays his cards right. He's going to be able to close out the round by himself.
You can see here, Shouse slip towards Showers. Find the first here, Zipan swing on to the second 2.
Yep.
And Na'Vi there 4th. Light investment. Again, no real pressure to apply towards Na'Vi. Operator noted now, so CNED probably going to be looking to switch things up round by round here. And even so, I mean, other than RB's ultimate, the wall hasn't caused any issues for DRX. Really seen it become a factor in some of these rounds. But a very, very healthy cushion in terms of the funds here, Doug.
Oh, I mean, for days. They're just so well set up. You got Sugetsu's ult that's not too far away. Angels isn't either. So you think about having control over the map, or at least this half. They're sitting pretty.
Flash will actually catch, indicating to Cena there is somebody to find. Outside showers.
What a miserable wall to have to deal with.
Pretty sure he wanted the orb there.
Just out of reach.
Yeah. Not going to get it, but able to secure this side of the map nonetheless. Stack's just drifting up long here. Showers looking as if he wanted to get back onto the same angle, but Angel will fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he fell asleep at the wheel. Xiao, just a couple of moments away from potentially being challenged. You see that flash to confirm suspicions. There is presence. Meanwhile, off that, I mean, DRX intent on rotating back towards B. They're going to take the spike back.
And Zipan actually heading across towards A site. There's 5 members of DRX heading towards B right now. Smoke's invested. Xiao's going to get the indicator. They're side committed as well.
I mean, they've dumped everything into this site, and they're going to get the spike down.
Spike.
What do Na'Vi have to take this back? Zipan has his ult. Sugetsu, again, still just 2 points away from having the pit. You can't imagine that's going to matter, but Cena top certainly does. Meanwhile, it's a pit from Zest that gets invested. Trailblazer to create some space, and you see 2 members still playing in it on site, on B, as Na'Vi attempt to retake this. RB with just 10 HP.
I think he spotted the barrel there.
Oh, so close. Yeah, RB ultimately falls. Zest biding his time. You hear the ult use. Is it going to find one? Yes, it will.
That's pit down.
Can they continue to play around this? They've got to go aggressive towards DRX. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Sugetsu with 2, and the defuse for Na'Vi.
And the investment of the pit didn't really slow down the retake at all.
No.
And Zipan able to apply pressure towards Cubby. RB down to 10 HP. Can't really commit to an engagement, which allows Zipan to find that kill with the showstopper. 2 members of DRX committing towards the long hold, just playing, I guess, the long game on an open plant. What is that? Seen him with the map ping. Operator kill blind through the smoke.
Well, it's just that easy, right?
Yeah.
It's just that easy. Look at him.
That was disgusting.
All smiles, and for good reason. Na'Vi continue to roll. That's now 5 rounds. Seen it still with the op. This time they've got a pit from Sugetsu. Seen it with another. 11-3 so far, Mike.
Definitely making this operator pay off. Sugetsu will close off phase short here with the Viper's Pit. RB slowly creeping towards showers, but does have a TP set up towards Fountain, so whether or not he does want to show presence here, maybe deal with the Boombot, but TP's actually expired, so don't have the ability to benefit off that. Okay, Buzz on a wild swing through hookah.
Yeah, that was, again, bold and ambitious.
Not seeing the same consideration today, Doug, that we saw from DRX yesterday. It's feeling a little more reckless here.
Yeah, and we'll see if things pan out as the rest of this half plays out, but we'll hold that thought for just a second because Na'Vi have fully set defenses around the spike. They have full control of this, and once again, it's going to have to be heroics from DRX to stabilize this.
I mean, spike unretrievable, though. 30 seconds. Looks like Zest and RB just backing up to try and hold onto these rifles. And a number of times yesterday, more so on the defense, we did see DRX happy to just give up rounds. Look to save 2-3 rifles potentially. I mean, it doesn't really protect their position here in the grand scheme of things.
The money's not great for the attacking side, but I want to go back to a conversation we were having, Mike, very briefly about how DRX looked yesterday, because there was an element of magic that it felt like they had, right? Like they were taking all these fights, they were taking them very aggressively, and they were getting so much value out of it, and it feels like, you know, perhaps for DRX it is coming across as maybe a bit more reckless or something along those lines, but the truth of the matter is the magic, at least early, right? We're still so far at the beginning of this book. Early, it feels like DRX is not finding the value on those bold, aggressive plays that they were finding before. I'm going to take a look at it one more time as Cena just continues to farm with the op. He's just been so good. And this is what I mean, right? Like, Buzz satcheling forward, and yeah, there was some consideration, I think is how you described it, but DRX just not finding those kills that they were finding yesterday.
Well, other than the judge, able to string together a purchase here. Seeker's available. Definitely looking for a response from DRX. Now, though, it's already a 4-round deficit. You start chipping away at this cushion that Na'Vi have, and ultimately remove this operator, reforce the purchase of that. Something was showing over the top of the wall there,
Yeah,
but Zipan.
I can't fathom what it was, but it cost him his life, yeah. Sugetsu's playing in this smoke, and you hear the Seekers used. Flank is going to be coming in from spawn side as Sugetsu gets another. They still have so much control on this site, Mike.
The one thing DRX need to guarantee is that there's some coverage towards showers here, or some pressure being applied. As soon as this crossfire gets set up, I mean, the wall goes up to prevent anybody pushing into showers, but as soon as Na'Vi get back towards pipes, it's so difficult for DRX to find any space to work with.
Angel's so paranoid that they hit his B. This is all a fake that he just rotated all the way back, concerned for the lurker. Meanwhile, DRX are going to get the spike down on B. Note, there's still showers control there for CNED, and he could win this round by himself. Angel still with the ult, and CNED still with the op. He's finding another. 2v2 here, Stax and Mako trying to reestablish and maintain control of the site. You see the smokes going down. Mako patient, and they're going to drop the orbital strike.
Just to clear out lamps.
Yeah. Feeling the need to win this round, Stax has gotten it down. It's just CNED, and it's just CNED with the op. Certainly not the weapon you want in a situation like this, but he's gotten one. Is he going to be able to get the second? Yes, he does! What a play from CNED! Unreal!
Stax's flash actually catches Marco. They can't double swing onto him. And CNED pounces. A ridiculous second shot for the Red Bull clutch here from CNED. And it's that flash. CNED turns it, but Marco can't swing onto him.
Oh my gosh.
That is absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, us too, man. Us too.
That's a heartbreaker for DRX. I mean, initially everything was going right for Na'Vi regardless, but they could have dragged that one across the line. Na'Vi walking long here.
Well, they may regret that.
Angel, the tip of the spear once again. Oh,
CNED
get a little messy here.
Yeah, he may be in some trouble. 11 HP, he is going to get healed up. Somehow stays alive, and of course he's going to regress. And he's going to get a shot at another. Well considered by Stax.
Marco unable to really pinch from Hookah either, so now actually stabilizing this B site hold. Zipan already heading back across to give some support to Sugetsu, but no progress found from Zest just yet. Does have a stinger. There's not going to be anybody inside lamps for him to punish. Seekers won't really paint a clear picture just yet.
No, but as the time ticks away, they're going to get all of the info they could possibly want. Angel getting rezzed up. See the spike has been planted. 3 members left of DRX on this site. Stax the first to challenge. The gate crash is actually back towards A short, so there's nothing deep behind it. Op still in play, and RB's in some serious trouble, dude. There was no way out of that. The molly, the nade, CNED, another one with the op. And you see this light buy does some damage, but the problem is, Mike, Na'Vi have so much money right now that that's not enough.
No, they can keep throwing bodies at trade rounds like this, where it's just a back and forth engagement, almost suiting them, especially with CNED popping off and finding another revive coming through. 8-2 the scoreline now. DRX left scratching their heads. Consistently finding value in the retake as well for Na'Vi. I mean, aside from the Red Bull clutch from CNED. Look at it as if that's almost something they can lean heavily on. They don't really want to mess with, I guess, the front line of DRX's double duelist with, I guess, the flashes alongside that from Stax too.
Sure. Hey, what did DRX do to stabilize here? Remember, they burned a timeout early. You can't imagine Termi's going to want to use another one.
Well, also, this is the half where you'd hope that pulling out a double duelist comp like this, you'd find value.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't be down 8-2 at half on the attacking side with this comp. But alas, that's where they find themselves.
And RB's just a million miles ahead because of the molly slowing things down. Xiao will find a second buzz, will fall down to 53 HP on Xiao, able to slow things down even further. DRX not even in the front door, Doug.
No, and they invested so much. That dual-pronged attack that we were just talking about, nullified, blunted. And with that, DRX, because those tools are missing, have to creep their way out. And maybe that's the key. Zest has already gotten the opener onto Angel, no less.
Find anything else though. Xiao tucks himself into Tube. Looks like he might be rewarded here, but Stax actually gets the better of him. Finds a second.
Crispy shots out from Stax. They're going to invest the pit too, desperately needing a round.
And a better pit this time around. It actually gives DRX some control over a choke point.
I dare said the previous time that Cena had, maybe not the right weapon in a situation like this, and he made a fool of me. But I can't imagine he can do it again in a pit. In a pit? That's the pit! He's going to have to do it with the Phantom, and he cannot as Stax plays hero for DRX and finally stops the bleeding.
Last round in
It's just unreal. I mean, you give him a little bit of space, and he takes a mile away. Any other situation now, I mean, if you can swap out to a weapon, maybe a little bit quicker, it almost seems doable for Na'Vi. Beautiful opener from Stax to swing this back round, though.
Yeah, the second on there was clean. 45 HP when he peeks back sight there and takes that fight.
First time, really, we've seen DRX lean back on something that worked very well for them yesterday, which is slowing down the rounds where they concede a first blood or two in this situation. Rewarded with a 3v5 victory! CNED punished off the rip here.
Yeah.
Operator removed.
Hello aggression from DRX, and maybe not a moment too soon. As for as dire as it's looked, I mean, an 8-4 half, you take those. But they've got to get there. They aren't there quite yet. DRX finding another Stax, trying to control showers. This time it's Buzz with the op switches. Angel weak, but the aim was messy.
Spike planted.
Very comfortable post plant here. Orbital strike available. Molly, 2 snake bites as well. Angel and Zipan with mountains to climb. So want to try and flip this. Zest actually going to... I think maybe hear a footstep here. Yeah, he looks ready for this flank to come through. Angel desperate to address that back line.
He's just so weak.
Enemy remaining.
And the weak get weaker. He's got to deal with orbital strike. Did well to get away from it, but he wasn't able to consider RB there.
Well, I mean, an 8-4 half feels like a miracle for DRX here, to be able to get that much on the board after, I mean, quite frankly, being bullied around Bind here in the first half, Doug.
I mean, they looked dead on arrival for so much of it. Was it 8-2 at one point? DRX just managed to scrap together the last couple of rounds to keep things competitive, respectful. We'll see if that's the case. Either way, we've got Golden Boy standing by with Zelsis for an interview. Golden Boy, what's going on, man?
Thank you so much, fellas. Yeah, give it up for Zelsis, ladies and gentlemen. Man of the hour over here. All right, well, we're going to do some good, wholesome analysis. All right, so let's talk about this matchup, man, because it looks like right now, Na'Vi, they're running away with it. DRX showing signs of life. What do you make of this game?
I mean, one, I hate Bind, personally. I don't know how they're playing it, but, I mean, they're running the Yoru comp. CNED hit some nice shots, so it's an interesting match so far.
Yeah, and now, obviously, you know, this experience is quite an interesting one, right? We have our first NA Valorant event. I mean, look at all these people that are here today. It's incredible. I know that you would love to be up there playing, but I want to get your thoughts. How is it to just be in this atmosphere, man?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I wish I was on the stage, but you guys still make it great. Let me hear you. Yeah! Love the fans always, love the stage. It's great to be here.
Now, obviously, everyone's excited about what's to come, you know, moving forward, and I just want to get some thoughts from you, man. How you feeling about, you know, next season? You know, you don't have to say anything right now, but I'm excited to see what happens next for Zelsis. Or is it just going to be you chilling for a little while?
I mean, stay tuned for part 2 of the next movie of VCT Americas.
And I hear the sequel was actually quite good. Quite good. In any case, though, guys, that is going to do it for us here. Guys, one more time, if you don't mind, show love to Zelsis, coming in hot, supporting the boys, and send it back over to the casters to get us ready for this next half.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yeah, always good to hear from Zelsis. But Mike, as we turn our attention back to the game, we've got to think about the fact that DRX down 4 with the double duelist comp on defense. I mean, how do you play around this?
I mean, I'm hoping DRX play into something that looked really good from yesterday versus Loud on Ascent particularly, which was proactive plays, right? These set pieces that were literally taking the fight towards a very solid back line where, like I said, it's out of DRX's wheelhouse. It's not usually what we expect them to really, really fully commit towards, but here you're almost hoping so with this composition. Yeah. I mean, the only other benefit for RB here is early information, you know, benefit from the, well, instant rotation timing, but there's very few positives from what I've seen so far, Doug.
We'll see how they play the Yoru on the side. As you were mentioning, there's just so much value that the Yoru can get off of quick rotates, on being able to check areas of the map and then flip it instantly. So we'll see how they play this. That does not seem to be the case with how they're approaching this early round, though.
Time to jump. Stack spotted earlier. Looks like on the back of contact, DRX have got something set up at least. RB not rewarded just yet.
Oh, but he is in a cheeky angle. He's taken the space, flipped over to the other side. Doesn't seem like Navi are concerned with or intent on hitting B.
And the flash actually almost gives Navi the upper hand here. So they've slowly crept their way towards 8. Seen it actually tagged down to 53. Didn't actually spot when that had happened, but
it must have been early on. Navi have taken Sharp's control. They've taken A short control as well. Seems like all 5 focus towards A. See that wall, too, is going to be so miserable to get through on the pistol.
Actually boxing this off, it gives Navi a very, very comfortable post plant here. It's only RB on the flank, but I mean, look at the minimap. Look what he's got to overcome to apply any pressure.
And he really can't make a move until the wall gets cleared.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it's just going to be him against the world. And you see, once again, in these pistol rounds, it's just so labored. It's so tedious to get through that wall. They finally break a panel, but now what? The spike's been ticking away for 20 seconds. RB is still sitting in the teleporter. CNED gets overwhelmed as DRX found some space. Shao handling the first, 31 HP. Buzz had it. I don't think he did get half. But that's all he's able to get so far. Shao still alive. Angel left in a 1v1. Zest is going to be able to take it all the way unless Angel swings out, and he does. Navi get the pistol.
We'll find their 9th, and DRX just a little slow to respond to getting that wall dealt with. I mean, even initially, the snake bite sent in towards the poison orb to maybe cut off a pinch from short, but that was never coming with the game plan from Navi here. A while since we've seen a Sage-reliant pistol round strat like this, but it pays off for Navi.
It took us all the way back to early Valorant days, huh? We've gone prehistoric.
There's almost a moment there where the wall becomes Navi's demise, other than the paint shell from Zipan getting posted over the top.
Ooh, what are you going to do here? Sugetsu's here on the other side, only has a ghost. The other rifles are elsewhere to be found.
And this is another thing that looked great for DRX on the thrifty rounds where they're able to push forward as a group and find an opener or an advantage with lesser weaponry.
I really like how DRX, what they did after the kill too, instantly send 2 through teleporter, see what else is going on the map. When you're starved for weaponry, information is key. And that's what they're trying to play around, but Mako falls. RB managing.
Found a response.
Yeah, he did. Tries for the second. Luxley a little beaten and battered. That's all it is for now. Once again from Navi, we're going to see a plant behind the wall. And DRX with just not the right tools to dispose of it.
I'll be chipping away. Will eventually fall. 3v4, Shao barely clinging to life here, but Zipan will find a response.
After the first couple of shots go air, and it ultimately does connect. CNED finding value and finding control, and Lamps too. Oh, it's gone down to a 1v1. Mike, how the heck are we here? RB's weak. He's so weak.
He's misread it, though. I think Zipan's backed up towards short. Might even be able to get the half here, though.
Yeah, but Zipan has plenty of time, right? RB's pulled off. He's grabbed a weapon, Mike. Oh!
Just tried to get back on the spike. Zipan seals the deal. Whew. It's only really the purchase of Navi that doesn't reward DRX fully for that early round aggression.
Yeah.
Don't get an upgrade. Don't retrieve a rifle from that situation. Navi able to steady the ship. Moment there, I mean, Marco not catching Angel underneath the smoke. A couple of situations go another way, and DRX are maybe poised to take that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just barely goes their way. We'll see what the play is here. Is DRX with a much better buy. This time around, Stacks is close to having his Seekers. RB's a little bit close. It's perhaps halfway there, but see what the setup is. We saw this previously, too. He just swings off of his own flash. RB making opportunities for himself and finding a kill onto CNED.
Stacks clinging to life here at 5 HP. almost punished, but it's actually RB, as he said, to respond. Xiao will get himself a rifle back in hand. Actually, still gets the better of RB.
That was really ambitious from RB there.
Maybe trying to police the weapon slightly, but
yeah,
definitely overstayed his welcome.
Navi, you know, you talk so much about Navi's playstyle in the first half. You see some of it here and how they're slowing things down so much. And min-maxing too, getting the orb, getting Xiao one step away from his ult.
The other thing is as well, they come into this, what, 3 rifles, 2 pistols. They're now basically one man down, yes, but Stax and Zest, very squishy targets right now.
30 seconds left.
Stax in particular, 5 HP. You look at him funny and he's dead.
They will spot Zest. Now if they get solid information off that, at least the ping comes through. Yeah, Zipan's going to swing onto it. Zest will find it though. Hang on, Navi have found responses.
It's a 2v2. Xiao's still so weak and somehow still alive, but they're so convinced that there are other people here. They have to delay for just a moment, and that's going to buy DRX just enough time to rotate. But what do they do with it? Do they flood? Do they go? Buzz has a nade. Mako with a molly.
Xiao's completely disconnected from sight here, leaving Sugetsu in a position to maybe thread back through elbow.
Interesting too, with Xiao as weak as he is, you think maybe you put him out there as a sacrificial lamb, get some
Molly could
info and
change things,
trade
though.
off of it.
Molly's going to slow down the peak from elbow.
He's gotten it to half. He's going to stick it the whole way. Mike, he's going to stick it the whole way! Right under their noses!
I mean, like I said, the Molly prevents the swing from elbow, but Xiao, at that HP level, just doesn't even swing on, doesn't even offer his life up for confirmation.
I mean, not a jiggle, not a jump peek, not a shoulder throw, nothing.
And DRX at a little bit of a coin flip, roll the dice maybe, but like I said, that Molly absolutely pivotal in that situation. Yeah, you can see it's a little frustrating from the coach cam too.
Questions abound, but there's not enough time to answer him as Navi and DRX take us right back into the 16th round. Still a 5-round lead for the attacking side. EMEA representative sitting cozy on the scoreboard, and money's not bad either. Xiao and Sugetsu are okay.
I'll be faking a TP through towards Showers. See on the minimap, guns trained on that location for the time being. Going to keep Na'Vi, I guess, stuck in this widespread default a little longer. Conscious maybe that DRX have got a set piece to roll out here, or a trap plate invested towards Showers.
They've taken so much space down long, Mike.
Yeah, a ton of information as well. The smokes here on A site will confirm it.
And as soon as there's confirmation, he can flip. RB just went through teleporter. He has a gate crash that's back up and spawn. Instantly flips, and that buys just enough time as now we have to deal with what's happening on the teleporter. As we saw earlier in the round, that deep wall into pipes is going to cause problems.
Definitely slows down the retake. Actually, Zest will find one from the Snakebite. Senior will fall, but spike planted.
Shigetsu on the trade. Zest with Pit up in heaven, though.
Yeah, problem being there's a Molly and a Snakebite here. Paint Shell as well, but it looks like Zipan might even put that in towards slowing down a push into lamps.
Surprised they're waiting this long to commit to something. Just want to be cautious about how they do it and just take the space.
Snakebite's coming as well.
A ton.
This one's already passed, though.
Yeah, I mean, they are taking their dear sweet time, Mike. They haven't even gotten it to half at this point. They haven't established enough control. Mako's got 3 on the round, but at what cost?
Do they have it?
It's going to be so close. Oh, it's going to be so close. 1 second. Once again, burning the midnight oil.
By the skin of their teeth. I mean, you think with the Molly going through, as soon as the Snakebite lands, I think ahead of the half defuse coming through, Na'Vi feel as if they've got that one across the line.
Yeah, he could have fooled me. Going to get a good look at Brimstone's jawline there for just a moment as Na'Vi call a timeout. And perhaps feeling the situation slipping away. That's now 2 rounds. You know, you think back about the stolen defuse on B, and then that just instances where it feels like we're just a decision away from closing this map out, and DRX continue to pounce.
I mean, you can't even really fault the decision. Again, Angel throws out the Molly nice and early. It's, again, maybe that's on the back of contact, or Zipan feeling the pinch towards Lamps. They want to start buying time then, but then a couple of overcommitments to those early peaks. You let that utility buy the time for you. Force DRX even deeper into the smokes potentially towards showers or towards short.
I mean, especially in a situation like that when 1 second was all the difference.
Yeah. Sure, I didn't even actually notice where Sugetsu's first snake bite went. If it was, this is part of the execution, I believe, actually towards pipes when the wall goes up. Nonetheless, DRX find their 6th. Na'Vi able to string together a purchase here.
Oh, that shot was gross.
I don't even know. Initially, DRX felt as if they had that one. They were just hanging around on site staring at each other.
You got this? We good? Viper Spit still in play for Zest. RB with his ult. Na'Vi, I mean, doesn't even have the package in tow right now. Seems like they want to feel out the map, see what info they can get. 2 rifles here, so they've invested some.
Shao looking to make this work pretty early on here. Buzz did spot out a couple of bodies on the other side of things. Trailblazer to pinch through here. Might even catch it. I don't think Shao's stunned.
He's crunched, though. Yeah, RB's able to clean him up. They have pressure coming in from the other side via Buzz.
Another beautiful proactive play from DRX to find a first blood here on the defense in isolating Shao. You have to retrieve the rifle, though. Yeah, Angel's going to have that in hand now.
Susina checking the flank. Meanwhile, the rest of Na'Vi have taken showers. Molly to delay for just a moment. It seems like they're still thinking this through. I mean, not liking what they're seeing, not liking what they're feeling, eh? They're going to try to flip B.
In terms of Na'Vi, still plenty of time left on the clock. 30 seconds.
30 seconds
more than
left.
enough. Their comfort zone almost.
Yeah.
But Marco has already made his way across here. CNED's spotted out in hookah. That's going to be the green light here.
Oh, he's got to be careful. That flash up high is so good, though, as RB's able to get the first CNED on the trade, though. Mako filling the space behind and stacks that 1-2 punch is just too much.
DRX clawing their way back into this one, Doug. Just 3 rounds separating them now. The crowd finally feeling a reason to get behind them.
Good reason, too. I mean, you think about that last round there. It was that dynamic duo of Mako and Buzz. And, I mean, really, all of them just played exceptionally well yesterday. But there were massive hero moments. Stacks there, huge play. The proactivity that you mentioned at the beginning of the round, Mike, is what feels like the biggest difference as DRX are starting to show signs of life.
Curious how far down the rabbit hole they go with that.
It doesn't seem like there's any of it here.
You know, RB again gets himself into a position to make a play. We just haven't really seen DRX commit to it too often. Stacks will be heard on the jump spot. Trailblazer to come through. Should be the signal for him to flash out, but RB caught up inside CNED's slow orb. Again, Na'Vi here able to mitigate that early aggression or trap play towards long. Regardless, there's still a 3-man stack behind this. And Na'Vi creeping closer and closer.
They've got a couple of tools here, too, and not just the element of surprise when it comes to aggression. DRX, 3 ults here. I mean, you imagine RB investing. You've got one of them already used by Stack. Zest patiently waiting and rewarded as RB's able to get another. Invested 2 ults. What more do they drop? Is RB still causing problems? See, those flashes have been so effective, but Shao able to put him down. As you see, things start to settle, though. I mean, it paints a grim picture, Mike. Shao left in a 1v3.
30 seconds left.
Na'Vi's still trying to hang on to this 3-round lead, but the last couple of rounds have just not gone their way, and this seems to be no different.
That's got to be the first that he finds. Chipped away at, but
little
makes it harder now for Shao to recover from that. Stacks on the swing will seal the deal.
Well handled, too. Stacks, as you mentioned, on the swing. Mako swung a little bit behind it, too, just to make sure the 1v1 wasn't isolated and didn't give Shao a chance to pull off something magical. 4 rounds in a row now for DRX. And the hole there is just gorgeous. RB has looked so good.
He looked fantastic yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming up clutch in a number of situations. The confusion started to show on Dubro's face. Light investment here to, well, definitely packs a punch. RB going exploring here.
Oh, dear. Caught with a flash in his hand, instantly throws it in reverse.
Able to get away.
And get some info, I guess.
Yeah. The other thing as well, I mean, DRX very quickly adjusted towards kind of this anti-plant setups yesterday. I feel like that's what they've dialed into here on the defense as well. They just want to prevent Na'Vi from getting favorable numbers on site. That's why we kept seeing yesterday a number of rounds on defense where they were just happy to save as 3. You know, they hit the site that we only had 2 on, there's no point going for it.
Right, yeah. Cut our losses, look to find another day.
This early round information is very important towards DRX game plan.
I mean, Na'Vi have shown a willingness to flip the map late in these rounds. And now with a little over 45 seconds left, it seems like that's going to be the case. An orb headed back, but Buzz there to greet. Nowhere to go from here. Angel's still playing over back by B, but they have Shower's control. You see the flash out from Xiao, but they haven't pushed out past it. Now they're going to creep out Angel as an ult. Are they going to pull this off, Mike? All they had was Sheriffs and, yeah, I believe 2 Guardians. They haven't grabbed anything else. And is that going to be enough? It very well may be. Unless Zest can make something happen, and he's already gotten 2 big ones. Seekers invested, Zest with 3. Zipam left alone.
Just like that, they flip it back in their favor. Zipam will be spotted with the ultimate finally. The very last second. 3 left standing. We're talking about in the first half a financial cushion. DRX have definitely got one of their own here in the second.
Yeah, they're doing just fine.
And they're about to tie things up, Doug.
Na'Vi made a run at that round, though, man. That was, for a little while there, uncomfortably close. But again, heroics from Zest. Stacks, animated, ready to go. This looks more like the DRX we saw yesterday.
Stacks starting to get a little more energetic on stage as well. Always a factor for DRX. Na'Vi, Orbital Strike and a Res available here. Difficult to really find value with that on the attack, especially if DRX are going to tuck themselves into sight. Buzz actually now Operator in hand. Posted up very early on the showers. It does still actually have RB here in support. Deals with it. RB going to flash out to deny any progress behind the Trailblazer.
Yeah, very similar to the setup that we saw in Octagon at the opening of the half. Someone there with him. As soon as there's contact, he drops the flash and swings out. Those Yoru flash is so difficult to turn.
RB are creeping behind this wall, though. Marco's going to have his hands full.
Is there going to be enough for him to know? I mean, they've taken so much space without really showing much of anything, but as soon as that wall goes down, they're going to be segmented. They're going to be divided.
Buzz can still deny the first attempt at the plant here with the paint shell.
The spike hasn't even made its way out of short yet. Going to use the Brim Smokes to swing out behind. That flash is going to get a lot of info.
Wait,
and
no
buying
way.
just
RB's
time.
going to TP into the background. Surely not.
I mean, keep an eye on it. It's tempting. It's tantalizing. And it's considered, but he hasn't gotten to it yet. He hasn't committed. Just buying his time as Navi's still playing around through short.
You will not kill my
See that res online. Orbital Strike used. Buzz trying to reposition as Na'Vi are starting to get some kills. Zipend with 2 massive ones. CNED looking to get the spike down. And Mako causing problems. It's Mako and Zest, the 2 controllers. And Mako's getting up really far by himself. 13 seconds left. They're going to have to make a move for this. And Zest is going to be ahead of it.
I don't think he's going to catch him on the dropout, though.
It's going to be so quick. It's going to be so close. No utility for Zest. It's already fallen. Xiao getting the spike down. Left in a 1v2. And honestly, Mike, a winnable one at that.
Xiao posting up underneath Hookah here. Did Zest spot him?
Oh, I'm not sure, but he's surrounded. Repositioning. Finding a cushion. Finding some space. And perhaps a second lease on life as he's gotten it down to 1. A dangerous move there as he takes the knife out to take 1 step further back. Xiao now spotted the flash up top. Does he dare swing? Mako bold on it. On the tap, 38 HP. Make that 17 now, and Mako's still healthy. But Xiao can just continue to tempt, continue to tease, continue to bait on the swing, and Mako gets it. He's gonna have enough time for the defuse too. Mako plays that beautifully. Unreal.
Ridiculous. Xiao unable to close out a second round from the same position.
I mean, I don't know if he would have won that. Yeah, I mean,
not so sure.
Yeah, I'm keeping it a buck with you guys. I don't think so.
It's Marco.
Man, what a play. off of the flash.
Sealing the deal on the 6th for DRX. And now Na'Vi up against the ropes. I mean, even here, the crack's starting to show. A Guardian in the hands of CNED. We have the showstopper here. They need to get a grip back on this half.
Desperately.
Well, they ever had one, it felt like.
No. I like this, though. It's fast off the Trailblazers. Zipan's able to get one, Sugetsu does too. They've cracked the side open relentlessly as Zipan with the second. I was about to say, maybe perhaps pace is what they needed. They inject a little bit of it. Buzz on the counter, though, and once again, ambitious and bold. And this time, ill-advised. Na'Vi take the lead back.
Even there, very audacious with the showstopper from Buzz. Well, make something work. Finally, a response from Na'Vi, a beautiful pace change. Zipan, the one to pave the way. How far can they take this, though? Will force the timeout of DRX. Probably feeling fairly exhausted after that string of rounds.
Yeah. How close of a map it's been. They throw the brakes on it for just a moment. Honestly, that buys Na'Vi enough time, too, to think through how things have gone and what they saw in that previous round. And you mentioned it, Zipan was the hero in that round. His entry out onto the side, and yes, it was helped by Xiao's Trailblazers. Sugetsu got an opener on there, too, as they were funneling towards B. But it was well handled, and, you know, in situations like this, I mean, yeah, you look towards CNED, but eyes turn towards Zipan as well.
Sure, it doesn't necessarily feel like it's repeatable as well, with the showstopper being able to, I guess, create enough pressure that send DRX scrambling towards safe positions. But certainly the pace change in itself is something that could be a good remedy to what DRX have been trying to do, set up these close trap plays up on long. Haven't really fought for hookah too much, to be honest. Haven't really been anchored from backside on B. I'm curious if Na'Vi continue this trend. As if that's something they can maybe start to exploit.
You see a timeline on your screen. It tells the entire story. It's been quite the emotional roller coaster as DRX claw their way back into this. But is it just a fake comeback? Early pit invested from DRX. The opener is Buzz, finds value with the op. CNED with the trade, though. And they've taken so much space from Hookah already, Mike. But DRX want to fight. They're going to try to fight this right into the teeth of what Zipan were doing, what Na'Vi was doing. And now they're stuck.
Toxin screen down.
We're cognizant somebody's taking the TP here. Zest tucked inside. Xiao and Angel left to try and recover this round. A 2v4 will be nothing short of a miracle, especially with Marco getting himself tucked into showers now.
And they're going to get out quietly. Smoke's down. And the smoke might be the only thing that tips their presence. You mentioned Mako. He's the one who's here. Does he boldly fight? Does he wait for reinforcements? Seems to be patient on this one. Angel taking a step back. No Molly to play with. Just concerned, paranoid for what could be coming around. You hear the footsteps, the flash out from Xiao to buy some time, to create some space.
DRX taking their sweet time on this. Marco maybe considering the fact that there's a molly in play here from Angel.
Yeah. I love it, though. Given these numbers, he's opportunistic on the repositioning. He's going to try to pinch in. Xiao on the flash. You see the tap through. Angel's already gotten onto one. But there's still so much to do, and it's all falling onto Xiao. A 1v2 now. A 1v1 now. Xiao, 7 bullets. Zest halfway. Xiao on the swing, and it's wide! Na'Vi map point, a 3K for Xiao!
What a ridiculous Red Bull clutch. I mean, like I said, it felt like it took an eternity for DRX to actually group for that retake. I said, Marco's got to be thinking there's a molly at play here or something. He goes right the way back out of showers towards shore. And the rest of DRX are barely out of pipes or heaven. That gives Na'Vi map point here. DRX still healthy in terms of the purchase. I mean, other than that, see, I'll take that right back. A Bulldog and a Judge here for Buzz and RB. No ultimates available for them. The other side, Seekers up for Shao after that clutch.
Oh, RB with the judge up close. He finds value. I mean, stays alive with a sliver of health. 6 HP, but the damage is done. And honestly, when you've got a judge and a bulldog in a situation like that, you'll take what you can get.
RB trying to reset back towards 8. Marco and Buzz don't think have been given any indicators yet of heavy presence or short. Now he has. Marco going to slow down the Showers pinch.
The passive info gathering from B2 allows them to start to rotate over. You see Zest has already made his way back towards A. Mako still playing around the smoke and staying alive somehow undetected, but Angel has just walked right by him. Mako getting one. Seeing it and Sugetsu, the only 2 that remain. Yeah, they still have the spike in tow, and yeah, they still have some time, but they're so painfully outnumbered, Mike. And RB was patient the entire time. He's upgraded a weapon. He has the spike. Wisely doesn't peek into the fight again. I mean, that is discipline if I've ever seen it.
Well, force the hand of Sugetsu out of the dropout here, actually. Reveal his position. Give him a chance at one of these taps. We know what Sugetsu's capable of.
Yep, he's capable. He was capable enough to get one. That's all it was. But DRX not going away.
12-11 now. RB's ultimate up. So the Na'Vi Seekers and the Pit available. Actually on the brink of a couple more ultimates here. 2 away from the res and the orbital strike. Zipan not too far away from the showstopper either, but round 24 will be the last.
Yeah, didn't you have a ton of OTs yesterday? Are you the problem?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
We'll see if DRX can take us there. The ult from RB right at the beginning of the round. And I mean, the info's been gathered.
Yeah, that's info.
Yep.
But, no, you don't. You don't.
Please don't.
Surely you don't.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
He made him consider it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
he was thinking about that, man.
I really like that, though, because you see how Na'Vi, as soon as they saw that ult and as soon as they saw the flash, they started to pull rotates back, right? They started to try to congregate around that ult. And ultimately, DRX doesn't take any space or any info with it, but you imagine a situation where they get deeper positioning down long, deeper positioning in hookah, too.
Well, if this is a round where Buzz is on operator, you can post them up very deep outside
exactly.
Showers. Doesn't come through, though.
What it does buy is some time, though. Think about how long the clock has been burned, and they really have barely made their way out of spawn. Angel's already fallen.
I don't know if that was an intentional peek from RB there. He swung out with his knife in hand, it looked like. Rewarded nonetheless. Seen it 2 away from the res, so needs a kill and this orb to get Angel back on his feet.
I've got your trail.
You see it right there, but you've got 2 members from DRX. Going to try to deny that. And RB's already gotten one. Zipen's fallen. It still hasn't been able to get the orb. You see the teleport through as they start to rotate back. Everyone from DRX is here, and it's a miserable situation for Na'Vi. Miserable for Sugetsu, and it's just not enough. We're going the distance.
A beautiful recovery from DRX after what felt like a very, very flat first half.
Yeah. And honestly, positions where I thought they were going to crumble. I mean, late in that second half, Na'Vi gets a map point. It seems like it's over. But DRX, man, they're showing some grit.
This will be reset here. We're coming to round 25. No operator coming out on either side. Obviously, did see CNED and Buzz employing it on the defense. And a little bit harder with CNED on the Sage. His utility fairly key in terms of slowing down hits. Maybe a consideration to make. But Buzz actually on a double satchel, looking for the same punish onto CNED, but catching his own flash.
Yeah, not quite deep enough, but the orb gathered by Buzz.
Early win for DRX.
Where do they go from here?
Problem being, though, even working towards the showstopper here, he's got no satchels, so
yeah,
if he finds 2 kills, he's going to have to throw it out almost, or create pressure with it.
And you wonder, too, even, you make a really good point, because he doesn't have satchels, you wonder if that was just intended to deny it from them.
Yeah.
Right? Deny it from whoever could be playing from Na'Vi and Showers, because they showed a lot of presence towards that in the first half.
Well, definitely the intention towards the B orb.
Smoke's down.
Zipan's already preemptively made his way across the B site. And DRX look as if they're now collapsing towards an A site execute here. Sugetsu might be tested here.
They just have no showers control. I mean, maybe Stax takes some of the space and they can have a late hit, but this is going to be very one-dimensional if this is how they commit. The Trailblazers are going to clear things out, though, and RB's gone all the way in, and he's all the way in by himself. The flash off of it, the flick from Sugetsu's filthy. How have Na'Vi stabilized through this? How have they maintained control of the site?
Actually, yeah, it does get Marco off the plant here, so forcing a second attempt at it. Maybe even a third. Doesn't get caught with that satchel, though.
No, not punished in the window, as small as it was. Sax now with showers control. Mako has fallen, a 4v2 in favor of Na'Vi this time. Sax on the reposition. Na'Vi can take their time, man. They have so much control and they have so much time. The flash not getting anything. This one will. You see it, Zest turn to the corner, and it's beautiful. It sets him up quite nicely.
And the pit.
Xiao's just on the tap. Reconsiders it. He's going to get it to halfway. He's going to get it all the way. Mikey's going to take it the whole way. Another stolen defuse.
And the pit cutting off the sight line. They can't punish Xiao.
I can't believe it.
You think there, the pit is the one thing that flips it back into DRX's favor almost. But it is their demise.
I cannot believe it. And Stax, what, half a second early, and he gets it with the shorty? You can't really fault Zest for a play like that in that situation, too.
No. Like I said, any other situation, you feel like the pit seals the deal for DRX.
We saw this set up a lot on DRX's defensive side. As soon as there's contact, Stax takes a little bit of damage. RB with the flash and the swing. But he's slowed. I mean, surely he doesn't dare swing in a situation like this, right?
Double flash here? Double flash is beautiful, but it's a 1-for-1.
Yeah, it's just all it is. Cena, the one falling on the side of Na'Vi, though.
Say, removing the wall maybe relinquishes some of that, I guess, safety in a site execute and cutting off a choke point, but my eyes on the minimap here. Buzz has gone exploring elsewhere on the map. Xiao seemingly aware of the possibility, but when does Buzz make a move? This is good information, though, because it allows DRX to fully commit towards the other 3 members being here on B site.
Absolutely. I think you're right. The one question is, does Buzz make a move? How patient is he? Because right now, I mean, he's got him controlled. He's got him corralled. 30 seconds. And the silence on the spike, that flash.
30 seconds.
Notwithstanding is deafening. Waiting for utility to come back up. You see the nade through, Zipan. Biding his time. Roomba, flash, and then the satchels. You imagine they'll start to go out, and there they go. But it seemed like he hit his legs on the way out. It's a 1-for-1. Mako's still controlling the site. Buzz is now making a move, but it's not going to matter. DRX hold the line.
A chance to recover after Na'Vi steal away the defuse. Convert the response stacks. Look at a little antsy on stage there. Perfectly timed. Yeah, I mean, the site hold stands up to the test regardless, but see the patience from Na'Vi. Xiao just fixated on market.
Yeah.
Anticipation of something coming through like that. DRX will take a pause for thought.
There's Mako and Stax again holding that site there. Stax not top fragging for DRX, but pretty freaking close. 24 and 18 right now. As you mentioned, DRX with that timeout. Just a couple of moments away as Na'Vi are going to have a chance to take the lead once more as we head into the second round of overtime. That's really good art.
Yeah, actually, I'm really impressed.
Very good.
Drawing, yeah.
Yeah. You much of an artist?
No.
No. It's a shame.
I was close to lying there, but thought better of it.
What did DRX do on this attacking side? You remember there was some injection of pace from them, as we saw in the previous round, or in the first overtime bout. Doesn't seem to be the case, although they are set up for it. You got Stax ready there for the flash. You have Buzz.
They're denying this orb once again with the double satchel, maybe. It's not seen on the other side of it here, so you have to to worry about potentially a paint shell and a boom bot.
This is interesting too, because when we had this conversation previously, it was because of the investment of the satchels that we thought, well, maybe that's not it. But it's just a dump of utility to deny the early grab of it and then rotate off.
But maybe this is a read actually for DRX, because it's Zipan they're here on the other side of it.
Yeah,
they
sure.
don't progress deeper.
That's a very good point.
CNED elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, very good point. Speaking of which,
we'll get a confirmation now.
Yeah.
With the wall up in hookup. Again, maybe the indication they're reading instances, this is the lighter side of the formation. CNED's desperately trying to prevent any progress into hookup.
They would be right. See that wall over towards A causing problems. They had to invest a Trailblazer just to clear out short.
Investment of utility doesn't catch though. CNED move to weather the storm. And nothing caught on long.
Yeah.
And actually sends Xiao back towards A. DRX have done great to deny or avoid confirmation here.
But CNED's the trap. As soon as the wall goes down, his life goes too. Mako able to clean him up. Angel flash, he can't see a damn thing.
Flash
Dancing around backside. Unreal. DRX have cracked the site wide open. Now Navi have shown up with reinforcements, but it's too little too late. They still aren't their way out on site. As the crowd comes to life once more, DRX looking to take the lead against Navi in overtime. But they're far from done. Still some pesky members of the defense up. Zip and Xiao and Sugetsu putting in what seems like an unwinnable situation, but the demand is there. The ask could not be greater. And it seems like they're crumbling in the face of it. That's exactly what they do. DRX take the lead back.
With a Prime Gaming flawless nonetheless.
Wow.
Will immediately force the timeout from Na'Vi. Absolute perfection here from DRX. The patience on display. And it's key as well that RB avoids this flash on B long.
Yeah.
That's what forces Xiao to reconsider the setup here on defense. For the first time, it's a four-man push in. You see the frustration here from CNED because it's just the timing on the wall. DRX, he said down to the second.
So well considered. You know, to go back to avoiding the flash from RB, it feels like we've had a lot of that in this map. Just misdirection, right? Off of lack of info or the denial of info has just been so good. That's what leads us to this point. Navi calling a timeout in overtime as they find themselves in a position that, honestly, Mike, given how the map went, I didn't expect us to be here.
DRX very slow to start things here on Bind.
Yeah. Yeah.
An understatement to say the least. But here we are, nonetheless, an opportunity for them to close out map one of this series. And we were saying this was a question mark to kick things off here in the best of three, but didn't think it would go this long, that's for sure.
No. Hopefully an indicator of things to come. Remember, playoff bracket up for grabs. 8 days to think, to prepare.
Short vacation in between.
I mean, yeah. So valuable, and DRX so close to taking a 1-0 lead in this series.
I haven't seen this often, though. Finally, DRX leaning away from setting RB up towards long. It's just going to be stacks here. We're talking about the operator potentially coming into play. Cena does have it in hand.
You wonder if he was, you can't imagine he was spotted there. Angel clears out the dog. CNED still able to hold that line. Off of the flash, no swing. They really no way to either with that slow at their feet.
So first, Snakebite already invested here, so only one more for Zest to work with. Finally, the rotation comes through, but timing's a little off with Na'Vi looking as if they want to slip through the TP.
RB's going to have a lot to do here.
Same with Buzz.
And they're going to satchel out. They're going to flash. Buzz falls. What can RB do? I mean, you can't imagine much in the face of all of that Viper utility. And even more piled on, but he's... I thought he was going to swing in front through the molly, but he doesn't. Swings back around, Sugetsu cleans him up. You see the defenses for DRX crumbling, but Stacks with 2. Trying to right the ship, trying to bring him back. trying to put him down as Mako gets another.
Angel's got the molly and the ult here, though. DRX still have to move fast.
And they have no duelist to go with it. They have no duelist to take the fight to Navi's doorstep. It's all on to Angel. Off of this you go. Seekers, the flash. There's orbital strike. Zest cleans him up, and DRX somehow claw their way back into the map and take a 1-0 lead.
Navi just unable to buy enough time in that final round, Doug. The stars almost aligned for them, but Stax blows this round wide open with 2 openers.
Yeah. I mean, they played it so well. Navi did. They waited, they waited, they waited. They threw misdirection. They took care of Buzz on the entry out onto the site. All it was RB, and he just had to survive for Stax to show up.
Sure, and the one thing that's actually very different today is DRX finding success in the openers. The first ones yesterday did not go in their favor. They were winning rounds out in the 4v5s here. I mean, yeah, we went 15-13, but that's it. Time and time again, this proactivity, their willingness to commit to opening engagements, maybe on the back of this double duelist composition, RB slotting onto the Yoru, really looked good for them.
Once again, you see the emotion on some of the players' faces as we recap that opening map, and what a trip it was. I mean, easily could have gone either way, but the we call it grit, we call it tenacity, we call it composure, whatever you want to call it. DRX showed loads of it in that map. So many instances in which they could have crumbled, even in the face of the comeback late in the second half. Managed to settle things down for just a moment to get us to overtime, and then, man, this dastardly duo of honestly, we talk about DRX and we say, oh yeah, it's Mako and Buzz. This time it was Stax and Zest. RB had himself an outrageous game too. There's so much depth to this roster, and it's coming ahead at just the right time, Mike.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back overtimes on Bind. This time around, Navi not able to close out. A little different for the scoreline versus Liquid. But we head across the split, and that's got to feel like a bit of a concern, especially if you're an RB fan.
Yeah, we'll see how things play out. Again, DRX somehow managed to get themselves through a comeback to take a 1-0 series lead. We're going to throw it to a break. We'll be right back.